Okay, so I mean, I think if you look at my career, right? Was a 29-year-old CEO with no leadership management training, and I'm starting a company. I was one of very few female CEOs in Silicon Valley then, trying to grow my own company and offering benefits and solving problems and growing an operation, expanding geographically, offering new services. But I was also a PR advisor to so many other executives and saw the leadership problems that they were dealing with. And you kind of see that from two lenses, right? And it was all about helping them be successful or helping my company be successful. And the number of times we took a left turn, they or the client faked it, or you know, even procrastinating and delaying a decision can create a bigger problem for yourself, right, than taking action. And so I just, it's my life story, right? And so I felt like the worst thing that you can do as an entrepreneur or a CEO, or all the Gen Zers, the millennials building their careers, right, is to operate with some sort of other form of reality. Like, you have to operate with integrity and authenticity. And the phrase "fake it till you make it" is the worst business advice I've ever heard. So that my book is designed to give you examples of how to be successful and avoid that trap.
Interesting. And I think well said, because I even so as we discussed a few minutes back. So if you talk to a PR company, many times they are the wizard. They're the wizardry in your perception, right? Sometimes they are doing things, making it happen, making you shine way brighter than what your actually shine should have been, or you should have. So what are you suggesting on that? So is your recommendation that exaggeration is wrong, or like what are you trying to communicate through this book? I'm curious to understand.
Yeah. So in my book, I outline, like, there's a spectrum of ways you can fake it, from the innocent to total fraud and deception, right? And most of us operate sort of somewhere in the middle, maybe, right? And so what does that look like? It's the entrepreneur who exaggerates what his technology can do to the venture capitalist to get funding. It's the salesperson who overpromises what the product can do to a customer. It's the person who's applying for a job and they put down they went to some university that they never went to, right? It happens a lot. And what happens in most of those cases, right? The VC will discover through due diligence that the technology does not perform as promised. The customer is going to find out that the product doesn't work as promised, right? And the employer, the HR department, is going to do some checking, and they'll find out that the person lied on their resume. So in all of those cases, right, you're going to be exposed. And faking it, exaggerating the truth, omitting the truth, right? Or minimizing the truth, not telling the whole story, right? You're going to be exposed. And while you're waiting to be exposed, you're going to be living with the anxiety and the knowledge, right, that you lied, basically. And so the point is, like, that's never a good idea, right? Like, think in another example. Why would you want to go see a dentist to get your wisdom teeth removed, to a dentist who faked, his education or his training? Why would you want to go to a lawyer who faked, cheated on his bar exam, right? Why would you want to get married to a person who's a fraud, right? I mean, it just, like, why? You're going to be exposed. It's a total waste of time. And you lose your reputation. Or, in the case of Elizabeth Holmes from Theranos, you know, we know what happened to her, right? Bernie Madoff, with his Ponzi scheme. I mean, he died, passed away a few weeks ago, but it's just not a good idea.
So help me understand. So is faking it lying? So what is from your vantage point, what is fake and what is a lie? I'm
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah. So you don't have to lie in order to fake it, right? I mean, I have this diagram. It's called the fakeometer. And the fakeometer starts with like you're just acting as if you're telling a little white lie when somebody says, do I look good in this dress, and your husband says, oh yeah, sure, you look great, like it's harmless. But then you cross the line when you start to lie or change the truth at the expense of someone else. Sometimes though you can fake it and you're not lying. Here's an example. During the internet bubble and then bust of 2000 and 2001, there were so many companies, hundreds of companies, right, who had business models that just were not sustainable. They hadn't been thought through. And at that time, I was 8 months pregnant with my second daughter, Christina. And we were losing clients left and right. I mean, it was collateral damage everywhere because these startups were shutting down overnight, or they, cut back their budgets. And this business I worked so hard to build started to shrink in front of me, and I just couldn't handle it. I was overwhelmed. I looked the other way. I pretended it would all get better, and I was faking it because I wasn't dealing with reality. So my point is, you don't have to lie to be faking it, right? You can also be an entrepreneur who's just simply doesn't know what to do. And you're not dealing with reality, so you're not making the right business decisions and putting your company and its employees at risk.